الطالب قرأ الدرس. The first sentence is starting from a noun. And the second one, قرأ الطالب الدرس. The second one is starting from verb. Yes, and both of these sentences are same. الطالب قرأ الدرس means the students read the lesson. And قرأ الطالب الدرس, the students read the lesson. So we should not go into the translation or into the meaning of that sentence, but instead we should focus upon the starting point. So the first sentence is starting from noun, and the second one is starting from verb. So this is the only way by which we can differentiate between the two types of sentence. And why do we need to differentiate between the two types of sentences? Because there are a large number of things that depends upon this differentiation. So if we don't know the differentiation between the two types of sentences, we may get confused especially in i'rab of these words. How do you read it? قرأ الطالب الطالبة الدرس الدرس. So this is important. So in order to get it, we have to differentiate between these two types of sentences.
The first one is ismiya and second one
Yes,
is
and the second one is fi'liya.
Even though the meanings are the same.
Yes, although the meanings are same. So now we should move to the next step. Next step is the composition of the al-jumlatul fi'li.
काम में वॉलमार्ट से पकड़ लेते वॉलमार्ट से पकड़ लेते लोग बैठे हुए हैं सर वॉलमार्ट खुला हुआ है हाँ वॉलमार्ट खुल गया 12 बजे बंद हो जाता ना फिर सुबह उठना नहीं तो कुछ सर चलो मैं आऊँ तुम्हारे साथ नहीं मैं आ रहा चलो बोलो मैं फोन हेलो यार सर नहीं आ रहा छोटा कॉल
Okay. إن عبد الله قائم. إذا الجملة الفعلية أو الجملة الاسمية. How do you know that?
Abdullah.
The sentence is
starts with the name. The name is a noun.
إن عبد الله قائم.
إن के वजह से Abdullah.
So what about inna?
But that doesn't change the sentence.
But the sentence is actually starting from inna.
But inna is not a verb, it's not a noun. So I guess that has no impact on if it's a failure or ismi.
Okay. So we should skip inna.
Yeah.
And should think about Abdullah.
Right.
ليس الرجل بقائم.
ليس الرجل بقائم. Same thing as ismiya.
What about laysa?
Laysa just means no, right?
Laysa is fi'l.
No, laysa is not a verb. It's not a noun. Yes, it has some resemblance with fi'l, but it's not with verb. But it's not a formal verb. في المسجد دخل الرجل.
جملة فعلية.
How do you know?
Because fi is professor, so the next one the sentence will start from the words that attach with fi after that. So dakhala will start actually.
So what about al-masjid?
Fil masjid is the
Something.
part of the after the harf is
It's right or wrong for him?
Yes, it's right.
He's right?
Yes, he's right.
So it's a failure?
Yes.
Oh, fil masjid is the.
तो फिर मस्जिद भी ऐसे उसको इसके
तो मेरा वाला भी laysa ar-rajul same to लोग है मैं.
Yes, sir. It was also a jumla ismiya. But this one was a jumla fi'li.
Fil masjid.
Because fil masjid dakhala ar-rajul. Fil masjid. If you are skipping fi, then you have to skip with fi whatever is attached with fi. So fil masjidi, the whole thing you have to separate it. Dakhal ar-rajulu.
होमवर्क किया
यार हो गया यार अरे की भी नहीं मिली
तकरार करके आए
यार
तकरार वो
खोल के था Bilal bhai, this sentence. How?
सेंटेंस है ये
Yes.
ये आलिम तो फील तो नहीं
How do you know that? It can be alama. Yes, alim is not a fi'l, so it should be a jumlatul ismiya. And the other thing by which we can guess is if the first
फाइल और
word,
मफूल दोनों भी होना चाहिए
no, you have to just realize, you have to just trust upon the things that I mentioned for identification.
ये फिल्म मस्जिदी वाला बताएं दोबारा
Fil masjidi dakhala ar-rajulu.
ये आपने बताया था ये
Yes.
नहीं सोचे आपको बताया
आज भी बताओ पुराना लग
Fil masjidi, and it was discussed earlier that whatever is in the sentence as a jar and majroor will not be considered a real start. It will be considered as a run ramp. So we should skip this run ramp and we should get into the real start of the sentence. So the sentence actually is not starting from fil masjid, but it starts from dakhala. So dakhala is. So the other thing by which we can know that this is a jumlatul ismiya or a jumlatul fa'iliya, if the first word from which that sentence is starting has a tanween on it, then we should know that tanween cannot be added on fi'l, on word. So this cannot be a jumlatul al-fi'li. So it can, and so there will be only one option, that it can be a jumlatul ismi. كيف حالك? It's a jumlatul ismi or jumlatul.
كيف كيف حالك كيف حالك
फेलियर
Oh.
हालुक जो कह रहे हैं हालुक में आपके नहीं कह रहे हैं वो जस्ट नो दैट्स नाउ कोई बाद में आ रहा है कैसे में आपकी कंडीशन नहीं
So no,
द फेलियर
we should not think about haluk. Why? Because the sentence is actually starting from kaifa. So what about kaifa?
और आप कैसे हैं
No, how do you translate kaifa?
आप
How is not a word? How is not a word? How is not representing any action? So I'm just trying to explain that there is no specific number of identification things for word, but there are certain hints by which we can get that this is not a word.
It's not a noun either, right? How?
It's a noun.
It's a noun. Noun to the name of a place, person.
Yes, so how look, there is nothing like because there are only two things in Arabic, verb and noun, and the third thing is harf. Harf is something that doesn't have any meaning except when you attach it with something else. So kaifa has its own meaning without attaching it with something else. So this means that it cannot be a harf. So if it is not a harf, then it can be a noun or verb. So the only two options we are left with is noun and verb. So it is not a verb either. Why? Because it's not representing any action. So the only option left will be it's a noun. Masmuka.
Masmuka. Ma. It's jumla tasniya. Ma is not a verb.
Yes.
So what? What the word is saying? Not a verb.
Word is like how?
It's not.
Okay. Min aina anta.
Brahmin.
No, wait.
So I thought so. It's what you.
You know why are you getting confused so much? Because you start thinking in the sentence. But instead of thinking in the sentence, just see what is the starting point of the sentence. You'll try to get the meaning of that sentence, and then from meaning you'll try to focus that this is noun or verb. So instead of doing this, just see min aina. Min aina is jar and majroor. So just skip it. So the actual start of the sentence is anta.
I know.
No. Min
I
is
know
jar.
about me.
Min.
Yes, min is jar and aina is majroor. Like you say min al masjidi. So if you are skipping min, then you have to skip al masjid with min.
I never changed to anyone or to mabni.
Yes. So it's
So
not
it's
changing.
majroor.
Yes, it's not changing, but still it's majroor.
Oh.
It's not changing, not because min has not any impact on them.
It does,
It's
but
not changing because it doesn't accept any change.
Oh.
So min has no fault with in this in this change. So min aina is something that we have to skip. So the real start of the sentence is from anta, and anta is yes, anta is not a verb. Whatever it is, you don't need to identify it. Just think that it is a verb. It can be a verb or not. So if you just think in anta, it cannot. You just get it that it's not a verb. So this is then. Imtiaz bhai, Assalamu alaikum.
So start with Zulugan Ismir.
How
It's starting with Assalam.
and
So it's a noun.
yes,
And also it started with
Alif
starting
lam.
with
yes,
Assalam is Allah.
yes. So Shafaq Allah.
Shafaq Allah. Shafa. Jumla tasniya.
You thought in it, or you just
Yeah, because shafa is not. It's not a verb. Shafa is.
But how do you know that it's not a verb?
Shafa means just I'm looking at the translation. Shafa.
So this is the mistake. I didn't tell you to look in the translation. I didn't say that you should look in the translation. I'm just saying that thing, if there is a tanween, then it cannot be a verb. If there is alif lam, then it cannot be a verb. If there is a pronoun, huwa, hiya, huma, anta, then it cannot be a verb. If there is something by which you can get that this is not a verb, then this cannot be a jumlatul fi'liya. But if there is something confusing, then you should stop there. So
Shafa Allah. So it cannot have tanween. Zabar.
tanween means two zeb, two
Oh,
zeb.
okay. Shafa. You make me more confused.
What's the translation of this sentence?
Abbreviation.
So it can have a verb in it or not? It can have. So it's not.
Sifa would be Allah. May Allah give you sifa. I mean, Allah is the word, noun. I mean, the noun, and then sifas would be the word, right?
Yes. Excellent. Ahsan. Because there are only three things in this sentence: Shafa, Ka, Allah. Okay, and we know that there is at least one verb in this sentence. Otherwise, this sentence cannot give a meaning of a verb. May Allah give you Shafa. So this means that there is at least one verb in this sentence.
Cannot be Allah.
So it cannot be Allah. It cannot be Ka. So there is only one third word, Shafa. So Shafa is a verb.
But we had to look at the meaning, right?
हाँ छक्के में छक्का मार रहे हैं ज़्यादा
मीनिंग तो इसकी सोचनी पड़ेगी ना इसकी.
Yes, but you have to go into meaning. You have to go into translation when there is no other way.
अच्छा.
खाली पेट में दबा रहे हैं, जाने के लिए खाली पेट में.
You have to go into translation when there is no other way.
तो वैसे अगर आप शफा को बाय इटसेल्फ देखें तो हमें वर्ब तो नहीं लगता है. It doesn't sound like a verb, right?
Why?
شفاعة شفاعة
Shafa Yeshua.
नहीं शफा का वो लेकिन आप कह रहे हैं ना का तो वो प्रोनाउन हो गया.
Ka.
का तो हमने छोड़ दिया, ड्रॉप कर दिया.
So Shafa.
शफा.
Shafa is a verb. It's a past tense.
शफा.
Yeah.
Past tense.
Yeah.
क्योर है. ये क्या कहते हैं जैसे सेहत है.
Yes.
सेहत.
मेरे ख्याल से हम जो है ना मैं अपनी बात कर रहा हूँ कि हम वो उर्दू वाला से जो है शिफा जो है ना सिर्फ वो तीन वर्ड
No, you
शिफा
should not think in Urdu. You should not think in translation. Okay, Yarhamukallah.
लेने में 5 मिनट वो पैसे देने में
वो लोग
English line
प्रॉब्लम
होती
है. बहुत प्रॉब्लम है.
या जान के ना कैसे क्या होता है.
Yarhamukallah.
Ka is pronoun. No, Allah is also noun.
सब दुनिया फैली है. ये हम
Idea लग रहा है. Idea लग रहा है.
हम जवाब
Yes. How do you know that?
यार हम वो रहम जो है I think it's या जो है वो तो हर पे जरिए से है. You can drop it, yeah.
No. Just drop the whole thing. Well, just think in Yarham. Yarhamu is the start. So you cannot guess that Yarhamu can be a noun or verb. Why? Because there is no tanween. There is no alif lam.
Right.
There is no any other identification by which you can guess that this is a noun.
Right.
So now, if there is no way out, then get into the translation. Yarhamukallah means may Allah. Yes, may Allah send His mercy upon you. Okay. So there should be at least one verb in this sentence.
तो वो यही है.
से बैक अल्लाह
So,
हाँ, you're right, just like
अल्लाह का
Yes.
और सब तो
Allah.
उनको शॉपिंग करने में टाइम नहीं लगा जितना
हाँ.
पैसे की वजह से.
So these are a few things by which we can identify al-jumlatul fa'liya. So after identifying al-jumlatul fa'liya, we should know that
एकदम नींद में आवाज की.
that verb is of two types: al-lazim, al-muta'addi.
متعلي
Al-muta'addi.
متعدي.
What do you mean by al-muta'addi in Urdu? We say sometimes that ये मुताद्दी बीमारी है.
टेम्पररी
No,
नहीं अक्सर कॉमन
no, no.
तादाद से निकला ये
तअद्दुद.
तादुद.
ये बीमारी मुताद्दी है.
बहुत
हाँ,
ज्यादा
मैं-
बीमार
हाँ,
बहुत ज्यादा लोगों को इसकी तादाद बहुत ज्यादा
सेकेंडरी
Secondary, what do you mean by secondary?
किसी और की वजह से है.
नहीं.
अरे यार हम सारों ने तो जब ट्राई करनी
मैं तो उर्दू-
इसका हमें उर्दू भी सीखनी पड़ेगी.
मुताद्दी मर्ज है.
मतलब
ताउन
नहीं, नहीं.
होता. No, ताउन एक मुताद्दी मर्ज.
फैलने वाला.
Yes. Yes, it can spread from one person to another.
Contagious.
So, al-mutaaddi means that it can go from one to the other thing, and al-lazim means see here, look here. This is verb and this is verb. Akala means to eat. Qama means to stand. Sometimes a verb needs a doer only, and it doesn't need the thing upon which the action has been performed. Okay. It's clear. Sometimes a verb needs only a doer,
फाइल
and it doesn't need the thing or a person upon which that action has been performed. So this type of verb is known as al-lazim. For example, look at this sentence. Qama rajulu means the man stood. So who is the doer in this sentence? The man. And what is the verb? Stood. And this verb stood, qama, it doesn't need anything else beyond these two things, beyond this doer. So it doesn't need a thing upon which the action has been performed. So it doesn't need a third thing. But look at this sentence. Akala at-talibu at-ta'ama. Akala means to eat. At-talibu means students. At-ta'am means food. So the student ate food. In this sentence, this word doesn't need a doer only, but it does need a thing upon which that action has been performed, which is at-ta'am.
ताम मफूल
Yes, I'm getting it to him.
तो अगर इसमें
Yes, yes.
अगर इसमें ताम निकाल दिया जाए तो वह लाजिम बन जाएगा.
No,
उसका मीनिंग नहीं होगा कुछ
Students ate.
लेकिन
but you need to specify what does he eat, what did he eat. Otherwise, you can do the same thing with each and every verb which is mutaaddi. Zaraba rajulu at-taliba. Zaraba means to beat. Ar-rajulu means the man, and at-talibu means students. The man beat a student. So, but you can skip. You can just erase a talib student, and you can say that zaraba rajul student the man beat. But it will not be a complete sentence. So, in order to make it a complete sentence, you have to bring up a thing upon which that action has been performed, or a person that upon which that action has been performed. So, there are two types of verb: al-lazim,
तो वो
al-mutaaddi.
कामर रजुलू on what? ये भी तो उस तरह नहीं सोच रहा.
On what? On what?
आदमी खड़े तो नहीं है, आदमी स्टैंडिंग स्टूड इनमें खड़ा ये वही कर रहे हैं, कमरे में खड़ा है, यहाँ पर खड़ा है. This is the
Yes, and the next thing is whatever is coming with on and in or for or to, we cannot say that the verb does need this thing, because the verb here is approaching to that thing by preposition. So you can skip that preposition along with whatever is after that preposition. Like you can say in Arabic also, qama ar-rajulu ala al-minbari.
इस तो लाजिम
Yes. But still it is lazim. Why? Because whatever is coming after this ala is harfu jar. So whatever is coming after this ala, the word actually does not need this. because we don't consider harfu jar and whatever is coming after that harfu jar as a permanent component of that sentence. So the structural features of that sentence is this word and this noun. But here this is word, this is noun, and this is also noun. And there is no harf jar between this noun and between this noun. We are not saying akala talibu ala tami or akala talibu fi tami. So this is lazim and this is mutaaddi. This fi'l is mutaaddi. So mutaaddi is the verb that does need a thing upon which that action has been performed.
Would you repeat it? Matadi is a word
That needs a thing upon which action has been performed. So now we are moving forward to the pronunciation of that sentence. Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya. So Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya. Now look, because the verb is of two types, Al-Lazim and Mutaaddi. So Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya will be of two types. Qama al-Rajulu is also Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya. And this is also Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya. So Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya can be in this form and it can be in this form. So the next thing.
There yeah.
So the next thing that we need to know is, after the identification of Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya, like after the identification of Al-Jumlatul Ismiya, the next thing we need to know is that what is Mubtada in this sentence and what is Khabar, right? So in this type of sentences, in Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya, the next thing we need to know is what is verb in this sentence, what is doer in this sentence, and which one is the thing upon which that action has been performed. These three things are the basic components of Al-Jumlatul Fa'liya. What is
lazim नहीं उस वाले का
Al-Mutaaddi?
lazim में तो नहीं होगा ना.
Yes, the lazim will consist of only two things: the verb and the doer. I'm writing the lazim also. So the lazim will consist of only two things: the verb and the doer. And al-mutaaddi will consist of three things at least: verb, doer, and the thing upon which that action has been performed. This should be the sequence of that sentence. Al-Fa'l, it should start from verb, and then doer, fa'il, and the third thing will be maf'ul. So if it consists of al-lazim, then the sentence will complete right here before getting it to the maf'ul. But if it consists of al-fi'l al-muta'addi, then it should have fa'il and it should have maf'ul also.
Sequence यही रहेगी.
Yes, I know. So this should be the
sequence यही रहेगी.
मैंने उन्हें बोला कि आप जैकेट पहन लें, आप ही पहन लें. This should be the sequence of that sentence in normal cases. But sometimes, and that is very rare, sometimes this sequence can be changed, but you can guess that that change by thinking in the meaning of the sentence. So if there is something that cannot be a doer, if there is something that cannot be a doer, and it is coming right after verb, then you cannot say that the doer is right here. I'll give you some examples, and then you can get by
That
these.
is uncommon.
Yes, but that is very rare. Like in you can say 20% of cases.
It 32 होता है actually.
Yeah, minimum.
So, Kashif bhai, can you identify the word and the doer and the thing upon which the action has been performed in this?
Akal is
Okay.
the one.
Yes.
Fail. To fire is the
To far is save, I know.
is maful.
Yes.
A fire, right?
Yes. So here al-rajul is doer, akala is verb, and atufa is the thing upon which that action has been performed. So even if someone is changing the sequence, even then you can get, if you know the meaning, then you can get closer to the idea of maful and fa'il. We say this is fa'il, this is fail, and this is maful. Fi'ilun, fa'ilun wa maful.
But this structure is right or
No, I have changed the sequence, but I am just explaining that sometimes if someone changes the sequence, even then you can get into the correct identification.
So
How
is it this sequence is right? But this can be a right
Yes,
sequence.
it can be. It can be like this.
और अगर सिपा को आखिर में जाके तब भी सीधा
Yes, and that one will be better, and that one is a real is a natural sequence. These are three things in this sentence.
So,
Qara'a,
Al-Quran and what is that?
al-alim.
Al-Alim. Okay. Alim is the doer. Verb is the Quran. And Al-Quran is what things.
Yes.
and then
So
the action
this is al-fa'il
Al-Fa'il.
and this is al-maf'ul. So this is fi'il,
Yeah.
this is al-fa'il, and this is al-maf'ul. So this means that we can easily differentiate between the three things. So these are a few steps. The first step is to
Allahu.
yes, what?
Sami Allahu.
Yes.
You say
So you are talking about this. So this sentence is starting from word. Okay. So this is harfujar. So whatever is coming after this harfujar is majroor by this. So that sentence basically consists of these two things. This is verb and this is
Sami Allahu में जो हु है वो उसका मतलब हु नहीं.
वो थोड़ी
ये
सी
हुआ
इसमें अल्लाह है इसमें अल्लाह हो थोड़ी
ये हु लग गया इधर. अच्छा Sami Allah. So this is the whole sentence.
फिर ये वो है
लाजिम
लाजिम.
This means that this verb is lazim. So this verb doesn't need
उसका आगे क्या लिखा था
liman hamida. So li is harfujar. Li is harfujar. So whatever is coming after this li is majroor by this. So we should not consider this as a permanent basic component of that sentence. So the basic components of this sentence is samia and this word. So samia is a verb and lafzul jalala here is a doer. समी अल्लाह हुन क्यों नहीं, मतलब इंतहाई जाहिर। आप चले जाएं,
बात है।
बा इस ये कोई बात है।
अच्छा हाँ, अल्लाह अल्लाह में अलिफ लाम।
It was fourth lesson.
not even alif lam. Allah is word. It's like this. alif lam की वजह है, सही है, it's true, मगर अल्लाह के word असल में is अल्लाह।
हाँ सही
अलिफ लाम नहीं अलिफ
अल्लाह
लाम।
Because we spent more than 20 minutes on this on this word in our fourth fifth lesson.
but Allah नहीं था। Allah alif lam की वजह नहीं, अल्लाह का word is।
Yes, and I have explained this.
नहीं नहीं अल्लाह की वर्ड है
I know,
वर्ड नहीं है
मैं वही बताना चाह रहा हूँ।
अच्छा चलें, come back to this. So the first step is to differentiate between al-jumlatul ismiya and al-jumlatul fa'liya. Now leave jumlatul ismiya, get into the al-jumlatul fa'liya. The second step is to differentiate between al-fa'lul lazim wal-fa'lul mutaaddi. The verb that has been used in this sentence is lazim or mutaaddi. This is second step. The third step is, if it is lazim, then it will have only two components, verb and doer. And if it is mutaaddi, then it should consist of three basic components: verb, doer, and maf'ul. Fi'l, fa'il, and maf'ul. And the final step is the i'rab of all these.
object and subject.
Verb will be in different forms. It can have fatha at the end. It can have dhamma at the end. It depends upon the form of that verb, and it depends that this verb is, we are using it in its mazi form or in its mustaqbal form. So we cannot specify that it should be maftuh or mazmoom or whatever. But the doer will always be marfu. It should have dhamma at the end, always. And the maf'ul should always have fatha at the end. So this should be mansoob and this should be marfu, always. So this is the basic reason behind the identification of fa'il and maf'ul. Why do we? Yes.
Daraballahu masala.
Yes. Daraballahu masala.
So the maf'ul would have a kasra at the end, right?
No.
Maf'ul should have.
Will have fatha.
Yes.
अच्छा ये जो सेंटेंस है अला ताकुलूना तामा माना
जिस आपने एक दिया उसको कुछ करें पहले. Daraballahu masalan. Zaraba is a
Word.
and this
This is
doer and this,
maf'ul.
so it has fatha and then it has dhamma at the end, and we should not think about the word. It can have anything.
If Zaraba or Wali Zaraba mein fark hai. There's more information, I know it's not.
No, it's the same daraba.
कौन सा
Daraba means to beat.
दूसरा दरबा का
इसका क्या मतलब है ज़रब
To beat.
struck.
मसलन मिसाल
Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beating an example. No, he's not beating an example.
नहीं, मैं समझ गया,
It's just what you can say, muhawara.
नहीं असल में क्योंकि मुझे ज़र अल्लाह इस तरह
Allah
तो
subhanahu
बार
wa
बार
ta'ala,
बताते वही ना.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving anything.
Yeah.
So this is a muhawara.
जी मैं कहता उस तरह का लफ्ज अल्लाह के साथ इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ
नहीं वो बोलते हैं ना डोंट बीट द डेड हॉर्स, डोंट कीप सेइंग द सेम थिंग. तो ये दरवा मैंने अल्लाह ताला एग्जांपल दे रहा है.
तो ये अरबी का मुहावरा बोलता है
Yes.
जरा बाकी आप मिसाल दे रहे हैं
Yes.
सही है.
ऐसा आपने पिया ना सर
जी.
हमने चल
एक तरफ चाय बैठ
मेरा कुछ खाने में बंदा ने लिखा हुआ नहीं जानता
तो मैं चल न्याय को ना नहीं अब आ गई
वो बन रही है.
फोन कर देना
10 बजे आ जाएगी इंशाल्लाह.
चले गया
वाइफ ले आएंगे.
शाम सुबह सुबह फिर जाऊंगा पिछला स्पाइस नहीं खाना विलेज में कैसे विलेज का ब्रांच कैसा था
यार मैं इम्तियाज भाई और मौलवी साहब थोड़ा बीमार हो गए
अच्छा
इम्तियाज भाई सेम
मैं बेसिकली बीमार नहीं हुआ था, लेकिन मैं आपकी हौसला अफजाई के लिए
ऐसे था अच्छा
हाँ नहीं
I mean, कि उन्होंने 2-3 दफा कहा कि आप भी बीमार हैं थोड़ा सा. मैं
तो फिर
क्या
इम्तियाज भाई मेरे
हाँ।
सेम सिम्टम्स थे बिल्कुल
रखी हुई चीज खिलानी
पता नहीं क्या होता
उनकी ऑयल
अम्मी ने कहा था कि हो सकता है सेम वाले को पता अम्मी भी मेरी
से मालूम क्या
सेम वाले पकाया जो क्या
आप लोग तकवे वाले लोग
नहीं तकवे वाले नहीं है आप जो है ना बार बार जाने वाले लोग हैं आदत हो गई है खा के गलत चीज खा के आदत हो गई है
पाकिस्तान में
दिमाग के अंदर
पाकिस्तान में होता है इक्वल आया वैसे खा खा के वही पानी पी से अस्पताल का पानी कभी होता है यहाँ उतरते नहीं है पाकिस्तान में डायरेक्शन
अच्छा जी
काशी भाई, read this one. नसारा. आगे थोड़ा सा चलें. सारों में आप you have to pronounce the ending letter clearly. This is the basic reason. Nasarallahu hahi. Why is this who? Why is this who? Why don't you say Nasarallah? Yes. Yes. So, and why is this abdahu? Why is it not abduhu?
It's also fine. Abda. मफूल के दिन में निकलता है
ना दबर
मफूल के दिन
Yes. So why is this mansoob?
where is maful
Yes. So this is
Nasarallahu abdahu
yes. This is marfu because this is fa'il, and this is maftuh because this is
maful
maf'ul.
अच्छा वर्ब के लिए कुछ नहीं कहेंगे फेल पे कुछ
Yes.
हो सकता है
Yes.
मतलब नसारा
Yes. It can be an.
मैं कहता कि मफूल पे जबर आएगा
Yes.
तो अबदा
Hmm.
अबद अच्छा हु तो वो
Who is yes? Who is mudaf ilayh?
समझिए अबदा है अबदा
Abda.
अबदा
Yes. So it cannot be. It can be in this sequence, and it can be in some other sequence sometimes. Like many of these sentences are not in this sequence. So whoever be as he should think before saying, and no one should help someone else. इम्तियाज भाई
Kataba.
No, just think first. What is the first thing? Identify the file and maf'ul. Then give the file dhamma and maf'ul the fatha.
Okay. What's the sentence?
Second last.
No, I can't.
You cannot read.
The middle. What's the middle?
Al-ibn.
Okay.
Al-ibn means son.
Okay. Kataba. Al-ibnu. Al-ris. Al-risal.
Al-risala.
Al-risalahu, right?
No, this is
Ah,
ta. at the end.
Okay. No, it will have a fatha, right?
So
Al-risal.
al-risala.
Ta.
Yes. Kataba al-ibnu al-risalata. 5 by
ضرب المدرس الطالب.
Sabul by
Excellent question.
what?
Qara is fail, Talibu is
No.
file, and
No,
Maf'ul is.
अब बोल के बताइए
अच्छा, so قرأ درس قرأ الدرس الطالب.
Yes. قرأ الدرس الطالب. मैंने सोचे ना तो ठीक हो जाता.
ओह, क्या ऐसा है?
तालिब है ना तालिब है ना फुल
दरसु मफूल है.
जिसने पढ़ा है वो
सही.
इमरान भाई
मस्ती करने वाली
नहीं ये मतलब नहीं था, जिसने पढ़ा बच्चे ने तालिब ने पढ़ा वो
यार की बात ऐसी लगा
ओके.
बैठी चाहिए.
अब अभी कोई
बिलाल भाई
जी जी
this one.
ये आखिर में रिंग क्यों है पहले तो ये बताइए मुक्की लगा दिया
क्या?
पता है मदीना अबू बकरिन क्यों है
मुझे क्या पता क्या करूं?
वो आपसे पूछ रहे हैं आप सही कर रहे हैं
सही कर सकता हूँ मैं वो
मुदाफ
ऐसे
मुदाफ
Yes.
आप जो गलत कर
मुदाफ मुदाफ अबू
सही कर सकते हैं, गलत नहीं कर सकते.
हाँ.
अबू बकरिन.
There's no help.
अबू बकरिन अच्छा अच्छा ठीक फतह अल मदीनता अबू बकर
मैंने बता दिया था.
सर से मैं समझा नहीं भाई. मैं अगर उस बात सोच रहा हूँ फाइल मफूल.
Yes, identify the file and maf'ul in this sentence. Fataha means
तो
yes, to conquer.
ओके.
that's a friend
Yes.
Okay, Medina, file is the one.
तो बकर
क्या काम?
Fataha to conquer.
To conquer. Okay, what was conquered? Maf'ul is al-Madina. Abu Bakr in it. So it's Fataha Abu Bakru al-Madina. Makes sense.
जुमला इसी तरह रहेगा उस पर उसके वो चेंज कर
You are right in this.
Fatahu al-Madina Abu Bakru.
Abu Bakrin.
Abu Bakr.
So the only issue is why is it Abu Bakrin?
Ji.
Why is it not Abu Bakrun?
Ji.
Right?
ठीक है जान
So I don't want to explain it
But later.
because not later. It has been past.
Eh?
ऑलरेडी चला गया पीछे का.
Seriously.
मजाक माफ कीजिए ना
मुदाफिल ऑलवेज मजरूर. बकरी.
अबू का बकरिन जो है
सही समझ गया.
मजाक है
मैं समझ गया.
हाँ.
और अबू जो है वो मबनी
दस्ता मदीना था
अच्छा, ये मदीना था जो है ये वो है मफूल है.
जी.
फतह मदीना
यार आपने बड़ी चीज बता दी छोटी चीज
I know, वो बात सही है.
अबू बकर बता दिया आपने
डुअर अबू बकर इज डुअर
मैं तो कभी नहीं बता सकता मुझे जान के दिया
ऐसा फाइल नहीं है, मुझे फाइल नहीं है.
फाइल अबू बकर है ना लेकिन
This one,
उसके अबू बकर में वो क्या
चेंज कर
अकलत तामा
मैं आप
बिलाल.
फंस गए अब
So let's lesson start.
बस खत्म ही था
There is one other thing.
इन्हीं से पूछिए
The one other thing is that if there is a sentence, if look at this sentence, Fatah al-Madinata Abu Bakr. if you were asked about this sentence and you want to answer about this sentence, and in answer you want to replace the noun with a pronoun, then you have to bring an appropriate pronoun instead of maf'ul. Like if I say
फाइल और मफूल दोनों का प्रोनाउन मिलेगा.
just Man fataha al-madinata, right? So this is maf'ul.
तो ये तो इसमें है ना.
No, this is ismiya. But if there is a verb anywhere, then starting from that verb onward, there will be a al-jumlatul fa'liya in that sentence. So this is al-jumlatul ismiya, in which there is another sentence that is al-jumlatul fa'liya, right? Al-jumlatul ismiya consists of mubtada and khabar, right? So this is mubtada, and this is khabar, right? So if you further divide the khabar, then you can say that the khabar is basically al-jumlatul fa'liya, right? So the khabar basically is al-jumlatul fa'liya. So when this is al-jumlatul fa'liya, then it should have all the three things in it: fa'il, verb, doer, fa'il, and the thing upon which that action has been performed, al-maf'ul bihi.
If it's mutaddi.
Yes, if it is muta'addi. So this is basically al-jumlatul ismiya. But within this al-jumlatul ismiya, there is another sentence, and that is al-jumlatul fa'il. Because whenever you see fa'il in a sentence, this means that there is al-jumlatul fa'liya. But we cannot say that the whole thing is al-jumlatul fa'liya unless it starts from that verb. Let me explain this with further detail.
आपने क्या बोला? बस. आपने क्या बोला? बस.
इसमें कुछ और नहीं है.
الطالب قرأ الدرس. This is الجملة الاسمية or الجملة الفعلية?
इसमें
This is الجملة الاسمية, right? So this is مبتدا, right? And this is as I learned that the rest of things will be khabar. So just now just leave this mubtada and just think in the khabar. The khabar basically consists of fi'l, verb, maf'ul bihi, and a doer. And doer basically in this sentence is a pronoun that is within this fi'l, within this verb.
इधर.
Within means that qara. What do you mean by
हमजा
qara?
इसमें आ गया.
No. What do you mean by qara?
उसने पढ़ा.
He read.
Us is basically file. Us is basically a doer. Because qara'a means he read. It doesn't mean that qara'a doesn't mean to read. Qara'a means he read. So if we are saying he read, this means that there is a pronoun in this word that is going back to a mentioned thing before that, which is at-talib. So the doer here is huwa, which is pronoun and which is within this word.
ये
And
फिर लास्ट में नहीं हुआ.
मुताद्दी हो.
मुताद्दी हो गया.
yes, so this is maf'ul
निकल
bihi.
गया. हाँ. सारी बात लगा दिया.
So if you had
उसके 3 parts.
Aqtal,
हाँ, ये तो मुस्ततिर है ना भाई.
How would
मुस्ततिर है.
that
दुआ
change?
मुस्ततिर.
What?
if there was a
आराम है.
there was a feminine beginning,
Silent.
अच्छा.
would that change qara?
Yes.
How would that?
Qara'at, zahaba, zahabat,
Okay.
daraba, darabat. Right. So now, if you want to replace this noun that has been used as a maf'ul, if you want to change this noun that has been used, if you want to replace the noun that has been used as a maf'ul with a pronoun, then the only thing that you have to do is just bring the appropriate pronoun. Man fatahal madinata. You know, fataha is a verb, right? So you are feeling that there is a verb in this sentence. So because there is a verb, so there will be a al-jumlatul fa'liya within this sentence. No matter this sentence is as a whole al-jumlatul ismiya, because it's starting from ism. It's starting from man. Man is not a verb. So it's a this sentence is basically a jumlatul ismiya, but it should have a jumlatul fa'liya within it because there is a verb in it, right? So if you think in this verb, in this sentence, this is verb, this is maf'ul bihi, and there is a doer within this verb, right? Yes. Yes. Man fatah al Madina, who conquered the city. So the answer in the answer of this question, this is a question basically. In the answer of this question, you can replace this maf'ul bihi with an appropriate pronoun, right? For example, this maf'ul bihi, this is it's a name of city, so it's a feminine or masculine? Feminine. It has ta at the end, right? So this is feminine. So you can replace it with ha. So you can say fataha Abu Bakrin. Awesome. So instead of saying Fatahal Madinata Abu Bakrin, instead of saying this, you have replaced Al Madinata with this pronoun. Why? Because there is no need to repeat this name again, because this name has been repeated in the sentence which was just before the sentence.
So you can attach pronoun to the verb also.
You have to attach the pronoun. If the maf'ul is pronoun, this is very important to know. If the maf'ul is pronoun, then you have to attach that pronoun with the word, and then you have to kick the file after that. So
ha जो है ये basically मदीना को represent.
Yes, and basically in this sentence, this is verb, and this is maf'ul bihi, and this is file, right?
मफूल बिही क्यों कह रहा है?
Maf'ul. Okay. So this is maf'ul and this is file, right? So if maf'ul is pronoun, then you have to attach that pronoun with the verb, and you have to kick the file, the doer, to the end, and the sentence will be in this sequence, right?
So the second sentence is the answer to the first question, right?
Yes. And why we are doing so? Because there is no need to repeat this word again.
कर ले तो मारेंगे क्या उसे?
तो बस अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि
Proper.
बिलाल भाई यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, बिलाल भाई सुस्त आदमी हैं, बिलाल भाई किताब के पास किताब नहीं है, बिलाल भाई सोए हुए हैं, बिलाल भाई जा रहे हैं, बिलाल भाई खड़े हैं, बिलाल भाई हंस रहे हैं. तो sometimes instead of saying बिलाल भाई वैसे वो आप सबक पढ़ेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह उसमें सारी चीजें ये आ जाएंगी.
ये जो फेल जो पता है, तो ज्यादातर फेल जो है वो सारे तो उसमें वही होते हैं ना, ही फॉर्म में होते हैं ना, जैसे ही कांकर पता है दरब ही, तो उसमें
फॉर एग्जांपल
एक बार मुझे एक क्लास की अच्छा मदीना था अगर उसकी जगह ऐसे कोई और वर्ड होता जो मैस्कुलिन होता तो वहाँ पे
फतहू
जैसे
पाकिस्तान कर दो
इसका
मन
मतलब
फतह
ये होगा he
मस्जिद।
conquered it.
فتح
फतहहू अच्छा
ठीक है,
सही
it's clear. Now look, if the doer is feminine, then what you have to do? You have to change this?
नहीं
No, because this is maf'ul. For example, this is fatahahu.
Yeah.
Then you have to change the verb. Fatahathu
पूछा था भाई
Fatima.
ये किसने पूछा था
आज बड़ा हेवी डोज चल रहा है
Fatahathu Fatima.
फतहहू
So why is this fatahat? Why is it not fatahahu? Because the verb is female. Because the doer is female. It's feminine.
फातिमा conquered
अगर ये हो आई कंकर्ड द मस्जिद पे
Fatahtu.
फतहतु बस खत्म,
Yes.
इसमें सब कुछ आ गया।
فتحت
Yeah.
ये बोलना فتحت
فتحته.
او فتحته मस्जिद हो तो वही होगा ना
हाँ, तो फाइल खा गया, वो उसी में आ गया, फतहतु में आ गया। यानी फाइल भी वर्ब में आ सकता है।
है ऑलरेडी है आ सकता नहीं
ये अभी तो हमने ये पढ़ा था ना कि वर्ब के अंदर हाँ ठीक है फाइल तो आ गया।
सब में आएगा
यही सवाल पूछा था
कि फतहत है तो यू काउंटर
ये ना कहें कि अभी तो हमने पढ़ा था, ये कहें कि अभी तो मुझे समझ आया था, क्योंकि मे भी आपने पढ़ा ना हो, वैसे ही आप आगे आप सबक स्टार्ट करें।
कौन कर रहा है मुदर्रिस बन जाओ एक हामिद बन जाओ
कौन बने
मैं
वही सब
मैं
फिर बुक चाहिए तब पीछे बढ़े
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम।
मन फतह
You are Mudaris, right? So, Kashif bhai, you are Hamid. Al-Mudarris.
मन फतह बाबुल फस्ल नहीं बाबुल फस्ल
Why?
दरवाजा
उनका दरवाजा मुंडा पर
Bab al-Fasl is one word because Bab is Muzaf.
Yes.
Bab al-Fasl is the Muzaf.
So, Fataha is a fail, basically, right? So, after seeing this word, you have to identify all the three parts of the sentence, right? Fataha is verb, where is doer and where is maf'ul?
डोर तो फतह में आ गया,
Right. So,
Yeah.
Bab al-Fasli.
तो बाबल फसली होगा ना,
हाँ,
वही मैं सोच रहा हूँ बाबुल क्यों होगा।
हाँ, तो
हाँ,
जो
बस
सोच
तो
रहे हैं वही
बाबुल
बताएं,
चक्कर में लगा दिया
जो
मुझे।
सोच रहे हैं वही बताएं ना।
हाँ, बाबल फसली
सोच कुछ छोड़ रहे हैं, बता
मैं गुमराह कर रहा हूँ तो क्यों गुमराह हो रहे हो
Yes. Man fataha Bab al-Fasli. Okay. Answer.
Ana fatahtu.
Ana fatahtuhu. Now look at the sentence. Fatahtuhu. The doer is within the verb, and who is basically maf'ul. And we have replaced the noun which was maf'ul in the first sentence, Bab al-Fasli. We have replaced it with a
Ana
pronoun.
fatahtu.
Yes. Ana fatahtuhu. Right.
वमन फतहल नवाफिद वमन फतहल नवाफिद वमन फतहल नवाफिदा
Right. What do you mean by an-nawafil? Okay.
वमन फतहल नवाफिदा
Right.
Ana fatahtuha.
Right. आगे.
मन कसरा
Kasara means to break.
अरे हामिद से हाशिम भी हो गया अली भी हो गया
अली कौन है
भाग गया हमें कैसे ना
Yes, there because there is a group of students.
मन कसरा हादल मक्तबा मन कसरा हादल
और आप लगे तो नहीं हुए,
लगे हुए
लगे हुए हैं।
हाँ।
ऐसा।
फिर आप क्या आप मार्का मारे?
नहीं मैं
नहीं सब में नहीं है, ये इसी में है
सब में नहीं कुछ में नहीं मैं
पहले-
सोच रहा हूँ कि ये हादल मक्तबा का मक्तबी क्यों नहीं है
हाँ।
ये मुदाफ ले नहीं है
No, هذا المكتبة, هذا will never be a mudaf to it, to the indicated thing. هذا and the indicated thing, both of them will be considered as mawsuf and sifa.
दोनों एक प्रॉपर मन का तो हाजा जो है वो ऊपर कुछ भी नहीं है यहाँ हादल
तो मकतब प्रॉपर अल मकतब होना चाहिए था ना, बट तो अल मकतब यहाँ
एक सेकंड
هذا is mawsuf and al-maktaba is sifa.
हाजल मक्तबा,
Yeah.
उसको बदल भी बोल सकते हैं ना, उसके बदले में
Yeah.
हाजा के।
هذا is basically if there is a thing by which if there is a thing that has been pointed out by haza after haza, then haza and that thing will be considered the same thing, just like mawsuf sifa.
मन कसरा हादल मक्तबा अंत कस अंत कस अंत कसरतहु अंत कसरतहु या हाशिम
So basically it's an exercise of fi'l madi also, right? Zahaba is the most simplest form. Zahabta means you went. Kasara is the most simplest form, and kasarta means you broke, and kasarat means she broke, and kasaru means they broke.
अंत कसरतहु अंत कसरतहु या हाशिम
So
मतलब जो वो मेल है इसलिए हूँ अंत कसरतहु या हाशिम हमें हाशिम कौन
नहीं हूँ तो मकतब के लिए है।
हाँ तो मतलब मेल है
हाँ सही।
अंत कसरतहु या हाशिम
Imran, you are Hashim.
नहीं मैंने ले रहा
इसलिए तुम्हें बताया। चलो
अभी
भाई
तो ला
ला ला इन्नी माँ कसर तो हूँ
Yes. La inni ma kasartu.
लेकिन लिखा है वैसे वाला।
ये लिखा है ये बिलाल को स्लो स्लो इसलिए पढ़ा दे ताकि ऐसा लगे कि चैनल लगे
सच्ची बात करें कि वो समझ रहे मैदान लिखा हम लोग वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि
ये
लिखे
बिलाल भी
हुए
स्लो
आपसे
स्लो
बताएंगे।
मैं तो समझ के पढ़ इसलिए पढ़ रहा है स्लो स्लो करके ऐसा लग रहा है
मैं सोच रहा हूँ ना यहाँ क्यों ऐसा कर रहे
इसमें सब लिखे हुए हैं।
बाकी तो नहीं सोच रहे। Al-Mudarris.
तो इसका मतलब ये assuredly I did not break it।
Yes.
नहीं बात सब
इन्ननी का ही है ना
दोनों इन्नी
इन्ननी को मिला दिया इन्नी
अना इन्ना प्लस अना अना माँ कसर तो
Actually, this lesson is basically a bunch of a lot number of things together. So he's trying to explain all these things together. So this means that you need a few more exercises to practice it. That's why there is a big number of exercises after this lesson.
رجع زكريا وحمزة وعثمان من مكة من مكة من مكة
Because Makkah is غير منصرف.
صحيح
So,
رجع زكريا
so
وحمزة
where is the verb in this sentence?
रजा जो है वो वर्ब है
Okay.
ज़करिया व हमज़तु उस्मानु
Which one of them is doer and which one is maf'ul?
ये तो सारी एक है
So all of them are
सारी फाइल है
okay. So where is maf'ul?
और इसी के
मीन तो घर पे इधर
नहीं तो एवरीथिंग इज
वो नहीं है रजा नहीं है वो
मफूल रजा में नहीं हो सकता, फाइल हो सकता।
क्या लौट आए
किसके ऊपर
ज़करिया उस्मान और हमजा
मक्के से आए ना इसके ऊपर हुआ है मक्के से
Think.
क्या लौट आए ज़करिया उस्मान तो हो सकता है ये इसमें वो वाला हो
क्या?
मतलब ये दूसरा वाला
क्या?
लाजमी हो
Ahsant. This is lazim. So it doesn't need any maf'ul.
फूल नहीं
So that's why there is no maf'ul.
उसका लौट आए,
क्या
लौट आए तो बताने की जरूरत नहीं कहाँ से लौट गए।
हाँ इसके अंदर मफूल है।
Yes.
मिन मक्का
If I
की
say
तो
ana raja'tu, I returned.
हाँ।
मिन मक्का की तो और तो नहीं।
The
इसमें
only-
फिर वो भी इसमें फिर जबर से पेश का भी चक्कर नहीं होगा,
Yes.
इसीलिए वो
That's why
हमजा
there
तो
is
है।
nothing. That's why there is nothing mansoob in this
हाँ,
sentence.
इसीलिए हमजा मैं वो
Because there is no
मालूम
मफूल.
क्यों है,
Because there is no maf'ul in this sentence, so there is nothing mansoob
करिया
in
तो
this
मबनी
sentence.
था।
So this is fail al-lazim. So it doesn't need maf'ul, right? Whatever is coming after min or after fi or after ila or after ala will not be considered as a maf'ul. Although it looks like a maf'ul in translation sometimes. From they have they returned from Makkah, but it will not be considered as a formal maf'ul.
वाना बिन हामिद।
अच्छा ये अगर जकरिया व हमदतु व उस्मानु रजाऊ हो जाएगा अगर मैं रजा को बीच में ला दूंगा तो, लेकिन
अगला सेंटेंस पर
ला मा रजाऊ,
हाँ
where is Hashim?
लेकिन ये रजा क्या क्यों था यहाँ पे, रजाऊ यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं?
पहले आ गया ना, डूअर से पहले आ गया। You don't know how many doers there are.
That's right.
If the verb come before the doers,
Singular.
yes.
कि खुद ही मार में
ये आज जो है ना वो
Okay, where is Hamid? La ma raja'u.
या उस्ताद
Yes.
खरजत तालिबु,
No, the Sabur upward.
ये वाला
Yes.
या उस्तादु खरजत तुलाबुल
الطلاب
خرج الطلاب الجدد وذهبوا إلى المدير والأستاذ خرج الطلاب the new student ये
ये तो वो
हाँ ये वही हो गया.
एक सेकंड अच्छा पूछना क्या जा रहे हैं आप
خرج الطلاب الجدد وذهبوا
बताओ إلى المدير
yes. خرج الطلاب الجدد. This is a complete sentence.
Yes.
But
Those-
yes,
तो
yes.
खराजा तो वो भी हो गया
Verb.
तुलाबु ओके खराज तुलाबु जो है वो तो हो गया फाइल हो गया ये तो वो हो गया मौसूफ सिर्फ तुलाबु
Yes.
जदुदु
Yes. So both of them are. I'm giving you hint.
नहीं रुके रुके both of them are ism
Yes. So both of them are Mawsoof and Sifa. So both of them are file or maf'ul or what?
both of them are file
Where is maf'ul?
maf'ul there is no maf'ul it's not नहीं मैं उनकी सुना था कि मैं नहीं चाह रहा था यार इन्फ्लुएंस
Yes. وذهبوا إلى المدير. What about this sentence? File by وذهبوا إلى المدير.
मतलब ये sentence
वो ज़हाबू जो है वो फाइल
ذهبوا में
That's it. There
वो खत्म हुआ बाकी तो वो है सब तरफ से जो है
And so what about ذهبوا? Where is
fine.
where is fail?
क्वेश्चन बता
Yes. Where is fail? Where is file? Where is maf'ul?
सिर्फ स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम वर्क
ज़हाबु स्टार्टिंग ज़हाबु
बात एक
ज़हाबू में वो ये फेल भी है और फाइल भी है,
Ahsan. And where is maf'ul?
मफूल नहीं है,
So
क्यों नहीं
कुछ तो लाजिम हो गया।
Ahsan. आगे.
अब बिलाल भाई के पास बैठ के ना उनका
इम्तियाज करें. You are the teacher.
चक्कर लगा रहा है।
أفهمت الدرس يا طلحة.
Okay. Well, what are the basic components of this sentence? Where are
طلحة is the where okay.
Ya Talhatu? Leave Ya Talhatu.
Okay. أفهمت الدرس. الدرس is the مفعول
Ahsan.
and فهمت is the verb
And
and يا طلحة is the file.
And,
The-
no, I'm saying leave ya talhatu.
Okay.
Just think that there's no ya talhatu in this sentence.
Okay. So the فهمت الدرس is it's لازم.
No. الدرس, you are saying الدرس is مفعول.
Yeah, الدرس is مفعول.
So
So
it
it's not
cannot-
لازم. It's
متعدي.
متعدي.
Yes.
Uh,
So where is? So now you have to search for all the three things.
Yeah. الدرس is مفعول, and then there's a fail and file
Yes.
in the فهمت.
ये जबरदस्त
वाह आज बड़े हैट्रिक्स लग रहे हैं
नाम नाम फहिमतुहु जय्यदन.
नाम फहिमतु
जय्यदन.
जय्यदन
So yes, what are the three things in this sentence? Where is
तीनों
fail, file?
तीनों फहिम तू में ही है. फहिम तू यानी वो मुतकल्लिम है तू और हु वो है. हाँ क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ दर्स.
So what is it? What's its status? What?
which lesson which type of failure it is
No. What is? Who is basically something? What is it?
दर्स.
No, but what's its status? It's file or it's fail or what is it?
नहीं दर्स है तो वो मफूल.
जय्यदन का मतलब क्या है? अच्छी तरह
बहुत
Yes.
वेरी
वेरी
तो
गुड.
हम कह रहे हैं कि फहिम तो में तीनों है.
Yes.
फेल फाइल
Yes.
और मफूल.
Yes. Fahimtu means I understood.
सही.
फाइल तो
तो उसमें फेल और
I
फाइल है.
understood.
सीरियस
So I understood means that there is fail, there is file.
फाइल.
Who is maful?
ओके.
Al-Mudarris. Next one. Kashif. Al-Mudarris.
كتبت أجوبة يا فيصل.
Ajwibat means answer. So what are the three components of sentence?
اسمه فعل فاعل مفعول.
Okay, where are they?
كتب in the fail. كتبت when you you write.
Yes.
With the you answer, you write the answer.
So Al-Ajwiba, what is Al-Ajwiba?
مفعول.
Awesome.
वो फाइल का है. फाइल उसमें
किताब
किताब है.
है.
किताब में आ
किताब.
गया. सही.
And what's its answer, Imran bhai? इसका आंसर
और
लामा कतबतुहु.
So where are three things?
कतबतुहा में तीनों चीजें.
So
कतब जो है वो
word
वर्ब है.
and then
ता जो है वो फाइल है.
आसान था.
ता जो है
ये कुछ ना बात है.
जाग रहा है भाई जाग रहा है.
फहिम तो हूँ जो है.
Yes, I-
इसमें वो अप्लाई नहीं होगा रूल.
हम तो बिलौजे में वो कर रहे हैं.
पता होना चाहिए.
ज्ञानी बेचारी कर जाती है चाहे
No. Pronouns.
हमेशा मिलाते
Pronouns are mabni basically.
क्या चीज.
Pronouns are
हमेशा
basically
मिलाते
mabni.
ठीक है.
So they cannot change from who, her, he.
चाय तो
इसीलिए कि मैंने इसको
नहीं ज्यादा नहीं
और इसीलिए कि मैंने इसको कर दिया.
समझाई थी क्या?
समझ गया.
एक सेकंड, ये माँ कतबतुहा,
हाँ.
तो ये वैसे तो इसमें हो गया ना. माँ जो है उसको हम काउंट नहीं करेंगे.
Yes, ma is her. So
तो इसका मतलब तो हाँ मतलब है कि नहीं मैंने उसको नहीं लिखा.
yes, I didn't write.
हाँ बिलाल.
Al-Mudarris
मेरा
limadha?
प्लेट्स हैं. मंगवा लूँ घर से.
नहीं है.
हैं?
Yes.
हाँ नहीं ठीक है अपनी बात.
ओ. Al-Mudarris limadha?
क्यों?
Yes.
तब तो लिंबा ही लगाएंगे. लिमादा.
Yeah.
लिमादा में तो कुछ भी नहीं है.
Yes. So what's the answer? You are Faisal.
पढ़ के दिया होगा. ली अन्ननी मा फहिमतुल अस्इलता. ली अन्ननी, for indeed I did not fahimtu understand I understand al as'ilata, the question. तो फहिमतुल अस्इलता ये जो है वो है फहिमतु में फेल और फाइल मैं हूँ. और नकुल जो है वो अस कहलाता है क्वेश्चन
ओए ओए
Verily, I did not understand the question. You know,
नहीं नहीं
Because-
because
Because,
लिअन्ना
I didn't.
लिअन्ना because I
चलो if
तो
you
ये
can
ये पूरा सेंटेंस जो है ये इस वो है
if you can tell us the structure of the whole sentence, then
इनको रिफंड मिलेगा जी
हाँ 100 में से जो है वो 20 डिफरेंट
आप कहें यार ये भी ले लो
इसमें जो है ना ये पूरा सेंटेंस जो है ना वो है फेली सेंटेंस
नहीं आपका तो को बड़ा होगा
वापस ले
इसमें
लेंगे
क्यों है नहीं क्यों ली से स्टार्ट हुआ ना
no
You
Lee
know what for you.
Lee is a fajr leave this
फाइल मफूल और
हाँ तो उसकी वजह से अन्ननी भी सारा निकल गया ना
so
निकाल देना
so तो फिर तो सारा ही निकल
Because
आप ये कह रहे हैं कि पूरा sentence
yes,
फेल ही है
just think that in this sentence is starting from innani, right?
ये तो प्रोनाउन है
Yes.
मुझे तो अभी भी फेल ही लग रहा है पूरा
जुमला इसका ही है फेलियर तो नहीं it doesn't start with fail
अब देखिए मैं आपको I'll try to get you here starting from basic thing.
ये जुमला इसमें है जुमला फेलियर है
So what is this? Ana maridun. This is mubtada and this is but if you add in, don't say हाँ ये समझ आ गया, just start keep on moving
ऐसे आ गया
keep on moving
वही जा रहा था
right.
वो समझ गया यही बोलेंगे
Inna plus ana
क्या आपके बारे में
अन्ननी
innani maridun, right? So this is still ismiya, right? Because this is basically starting from ana. This is basically this is still ismiya because this is basically starting from ana, because there is ana in this sentence and we have joined this ana to with the inna, right? Okay, if you just skip maris and say innani fahimtul darsa.
जब माँ भी doesn't matter है
वो तो नो था
Yes, innani fahimtu darsa. Still it's a jumla ismiya, right? And this is a jumla al fi'liya. And where is file in this? Yes, and this is maf'ul. So al asila. Same is the case with asila, right? This is when you want to say that I understood the questions. If you want to say I did not understand the questions, then innani ma fahim.
ये तो हमें अब ली बता देंगे
लियाना है ना वो तो
Li anna is because. So this is just add li. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't have any influence on the sentence. So the how do you say? इधर देखो. Just now just start the manufacturing of the whole sentence again. This is al jumlatul ismiya or al jumlatul fi'liya.
कौन सा
The whole sentence.
इसमें
Okay. So where is mubtada and khabar?
ये अन्ननी जो है वो मुब्तदा है और खबर जो है
Li annani cannot be a mubtada. Leave li.
नी जो है
Uh-huh.
मी
Uh-huh.
ये मुब्तदा है
Okay. This is mubtada.
और ये पूरी खबर है
बाकी सब
Okay. So then we have to redivide the khabar, because the khabar is basically consists of a complete sentence, right? So this is also a sentence. So where is fail? This is a jumlatul ismiya or failure?
फेलियर
Where is fail file maf'ul in this sentence?
फहिम तू में फेल और फाइल है
Mm-hmm.
और असइलता जो है वो मफूल
Maf'ul.
अच्छा अगर कोई सेंटेंस हरफ जर से स्टार्ट हो रहा है तो वो आप उसमें उसको ड्रॉप कर दें देन
आप इधर काउंट नहीं करेंगे
वो काउंट नहीं करें
Yes, हम basically हम इसको counting. We are not counting this basically. We are saying that أنني ما فهمت الأسئلة. This is harf jar. The whole thing is majroor by this harf jar, right? So the whole thing has no influence upon the rest of the things. For example, if there is something here and if there is something here, then it doesn't have any influence on these two things. For example, if you say Zalika li annani, then this is mubtada and khabar is somewhere, and this is harf jar and majroor. So the whole sentence is majroor, but still we need to know the components of this sentence which is in majroor form.
खबर मजरूर थी
No, this is something difficult that you cannot understand. ये ज़रा तेज़ निकालिए, उसको छोड़ दें, इसको अभी आप फिलहाल छोड़ दें. फिलहाल just think that li annani, the sentence is basically starting from innani. La has li has no influence.
हरफ जर से स्टार्ट हो रहा था, हरफ जर को हटा देंगे और फिर उसके बाद ही फिगर आउट कि जुमला इसमिया है जुमला.
Yes, and this is very rare. This is very rare. चलें आगे. What's the answer of this? لأنني ما فهمت الأسئلة. المدرس عاطف भाई المدرس.
हाफिज़ सूरतल फज्र या इब्राहिम. तो बताना इसमें.
Yes.
तो हाफिज़ा जो वर्ब है, हाफिज़ था में उसमें डूअर भी आ गया. सूरता जो था सूरतुल होना चाहिए, तो उसकी जगह मफूल है तो सूरता हो गया और वो मुदाफ मुदाफिल है.
Right, that's something.
सूरतल फजरी जो है
मफऊल
Yes.
वो मफूल है पूरा, लेकिन सूरतुल होना चाहिए, लेकिन वो मफूल है तो सूरतल हो गया.
What's the
ना
answer?
लेकिन हफीज़ा मैं थोड़ा आ गया हफीज़ था
दोनों में आ गया ना, वो फाइल भी है फील भी है.
No. Hafizta is fail and file only. There is no maf'ul.
मफूल नहीं है उसमें.
खाली हफीज़ा होता तो ना था
हाँ तो भी होता.
So
लेकिन सोफिस्ता में भी फेल फाइल है खाली हफीज़ा होता तो फेल फाइल हो जाता.
Yes.
आंसर
right. What's the
हाफिज़ा
answer?
का मतलब क्या?
Hafiza.
इब्राहिम
Hmm.
नअम हफिज़तुहा
So Hafiztuha, where is?
हफिज़तुहा इसमें हाफिज़ जब होता वो तो फेल हफिज़तुहा फे और हफिज़तु जो है वो जो तू है वो फाइल है और हा जो है वो मफऊल.
Right.
और हफिज़तुहा व हफिज़तु सूरत तीन अय्यबन. तो इसमें हाफिज़तु जो हो गया वो फेल और फाइल हो गया और सूरा जो हो गई वो मफऊल.
इसलिए सूरता होगा
सूरता
तीन आइजन यानी
अब
Aizan means Aizan. Right. Ajib anil asilatil atiyah. Answer the following question.
ये तो लेसन से
Yes.
अच्छा है वैसे
First exercise.
मुदीरी
Yes. Just search for the answers in the lesson and start answering the questions. أفهم طلحة الدرس؟ نعم فهم. نعم فهمته. Why?
फहम तू मैंने
नहीं फहिमु फहमहु
فهمه. Yes. فهمت. So أفهم طلحة الدرس. Did Talha understand the